Welcome back to Grade Richmond Scholars. I'm Ms. Whitaker, and I'm excited to have you join me for another math lesson. This is week 5, day 4, and we will be discussing concepts that relate to SOL 7.10e. Let's get started. First, let's review the U-Try questions from the previous lesson. At this time, you should check your answers. If you answer any of the questions incorrectly, take some time to see what you did differently. Lastly, you're going to correct your answers. Okay, number one, Mr. Scott loves renting movies. He goes to the red box and rents 3 movies per month. Create a table showing the relationship between the month X and the number of movies rented Y. So I filled in the table. I just started with 1 month and went in order. So month 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In the verbal description, they use the word per. So he rents 3 movies per month. This word per represents a rate of change. This is a slope word, okay? So when you see a word that represents a rate of change, a word that represents multiplication, then you know the relationship is multiplicative, okay? Therefore, you are going to multiply the x values to get the corresponding y values. So 1 times 3 will give you 3. He rents 3 movies in 1 month. 2 times 3 will give you 6. He rents 6 movies in 2 months, and so on. Okay? So to write an equation that can be used to determine the number of movies given the month, we are going to use the equation y is equal to mx. Okay? Once again, this equation represents a multiplicative relationship. And the equation m represents the slope. So m is equal to the slope. And from our table or our verbal description, we know the slope is equal to 3. Okay? Because here it says you rent 3 movies per month, and this word per represents a constant rate of change. What's changing? 3 movies. Okay? And in our table, we can see that each time we are multiplying by 3. So again, this represents our constant rate of change, which is equal to the slope. So our slope, or m, is equal to 3. So when your relationship is multiplicative, you're going to use the equation y is equal to mx. Okay? So from there, you will substitute your slope m for the slope you found, which is 3. So now the equation is y is equal to 3x. That's the equation that represents this relationship. Okay? X being the number of months, y being the number of movies. If I substituted, I don't know, say 4 months, right? So if I substituted x with 4, I should get 12, right? Which is the same in our table. All right, so now to graph this, you can just use the table to help you. So this table represent x and y values, and we know order pairs are written in a specific order, x then y. Okay, so all of your x values represent your x coordinate, and your y values represent your y coordinate. So the first order pair will be 1, 3. So you will start at the origin, go to the 1, go up to 3, plot your point. The next order pair is 2, 6. Start at the origin, go to the 2, go up to the 6, plot your point. And the last order pair we can get on the graph is 3, 9. So start back at the origin, go over to 3, or go right to 3, and then up to 9. Okay? Lastly, is this an additive or proportional relationship? This is a proportional relationship because it also represents a multiplicative relationship. Okay? And also, the graph of the relationship is a straight line and it goes through the origin. Okay? So this is a proportional relationship. All right, number 2. Use a table to show the relationship between x and y. So they give you a table, and then they want you to write an equation that can be used to determine the value of y when given x. If you look at the table, and you look at the x values versus the y values, the values are actually decreasing when you look at the relationship between x and y, meaning x is 4 and y is 1. When x is 8, y is 2. So it is decreasing by a rate of 1/4. Okay, so it's decreasing at a fraction of the x value. Okay, so therefore, to write this as an equation, you are going to substitute m in the equation for your slope. And m represents our constant rate of change, which is equal to 1/4. And we have to multiply our fraction to get the correct number. Because if you multiply by even the smallest whole number, say 1, 4 times 1 will give you 4, not 1. Okay? 8 times 1 will give you 8, not 2. So you have to figure out what fraction can I multiply by to get the correct number. You probably can clearly see that, oh, I can divide by 4 and get the y values. Well, dividing by 4 and multiplying by 1/4 will give you the same number. And since this is a multiplicative relationship, you must multiply by a number. So we're going to multiply by the fraction. Okay, so our slope equals 1/4. Okay, so the equation that we're going to write is y is equal to 1/4 x. Just substitute your slope with m in the equation. And we know for a multiplicative relationship, we use the equation y is equal to mx. Okay? Represent this relationship as a graph. So we can just, once again, graph the order pairs from our table. So the first order pair will be 0, 0. Go to the origin, make a point. Next order pair, 4, 1. Go to the right 4 times, go 4 units, and put 1 unit. The next order pair, 8, 2. Go back to the origin, go 8 units to the right, and up 2 units. And the last point we can get on the graph is 12, 3. You're going to go to the right 12 units and up 1, 2, 3 units and make a point. From there, connect the dots and graph the line. Okay, is this an additive or proportional relationship? This is a proportional relationship because the constant rate of change is multiplicative. Okay, each time you are multiplying to get your y value. Okay, the rate of change is constant between your x and y. Okay, and also the line of the graph is straight and it goes through the origin. So when that happens, you know that relationship is proportional. Then the last part says write a verbal description that represents this relationship. I came up with 1/4 of the profit will go to charity. So this word of represents a of is a word that represents multiplication. Okay. So your profit will represent your X value. So say you made, I don't know, $100 selling cakes, right? For your church. And so 1/4 of that will go to charity. So X represents the money you made selling something, and then Y represents how much will go to charity. So if you sold $100, I'm sorry, if you made $100 selling cakes, then you will give $25 to charity. 1/4 of 100 is 25. So let's move on to our lesson for today. Today we will be learning how to make connections between and among representations of a proportional and additive relationship between two quantities using verbal descriptions, tables, equations, and graphs. Materials needed for today's lesson, you need pencil, paper, calculator, and you also need a straight edge or a ruler. Make sure to write all of your notes, guided practice, and you try problems down in your notebook. If you have access to a printer, you can print out slides 7 through 9 in the PowerPoint and follow along with the video. So, our vocabulary words for today are words that we discussed in the lesson from day 2. Okay? So these words represent non-proportional relationships, okay? And they're here for you to reference. Okay, so additive relationships can be represented in several different ways. They can be represented using tables, graphs, equations, and words. We want to make connections between and among these different representations. So if we are given one representation of a specific relationship, we should be able to represent that relationship in the other 3 forms. Okay, so in this example, they give us a verbal description or a practical situation. Okay, which basically means they represent the relationship using words. Okay, we are going to represent this relationship using the same relationship using an equation, a table, and a graph. Okay, based on what they told us in the verbal description. On each necklace Sarah makes, there are 5 more purple beads and silver beads. Write an equation to represent the relationship between the number of silver beads, X, and the number of purple beads, Y. Okay, so here we are going to identify words that represent addition or subtraction. I see the word more. Okay, well, how much more? 5 more. Okay, so there are 5 more purple beads than silver beads. Okay, so from there, we are going to write an equation. Okay, so our word that we represented or that we found to mean addition was more. There are 5 more purple beads than silver beads. So for an additive relationship, we will use the equation y is equal to x plus b. Okay, and from the problem or the verbal description, it says silver beads represent x, purple beads represent y. Okay, so X is silver beads. And Y represents the number of purple beads. Okay? Okay, so Y represents the number of purple beads. So in the verbal description, it says you have 5 more on each necklace. There are 5 more purple beads than silver beads. So in order to figure out how many purple beads there are, you will always add 5 to the number of silver beads. So therefore, you replace 5, which is our y-intercept, represents our additive relationship. You replace b with 5. So x plus 5. Our equation is now y is equal to x plus 5. Okay. So now let's create a graph. Well, actually, let's create a table that represents the relationship. So now we're going to have x and y, right? But x represents your number of silver beads, and I'm going to abbreviate. Y represents the number of purple beads. So if you had 0 silver beads, then you will add 5 to that, and you will have 5 purple beads, right? So each time we know that we're going to add 5, because this is an additive relationship, okay? We have to add 5 to all of the y or x values to get the corresponding y values. So we're just going to fill in the table on that order. And each time we need to add 5 to x to get y. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 2 plus 5 is 7. 3 plus 5 is 8. And 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay? From there, we can graph our relationship. So our first order pair will be 0, 5. If you go to the origin, start at the origin, you would just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me make this bigger and plot your point. This represents your y-intercept, okay? Where the line will cross the y-axis, that is your y-intercept. Then we're going to graph 1, 6, or plot 1, 6. So start at the origin, move to the right 1 unit, and then go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. 2, 7, 2 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up. 3, 8. You can go 3 to the right. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up. And then 4, 9 is our last order pair. We're going to go start at the origin, go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up. Okay? Now, please remember our equation of the line where we have an additive relationship will be y is equal to x plus b, right? So when you have x by itself, you know that your slope is going to be 1. Therefore, you can use your rise over run directions for a slope of 1 to graph any of the points underneath your y-intercept. So if we have a slope of 1, that would mean change in y over change in x will be 1 over 1, positive 1 over positive 1, which means it will be 1 up, 1 right. So 1 up, 1 right. But if you want to go underneath this point, I have to go in the opposite directions, which means you will go down 1, 1 left. 1 down, 1 left. 1 down, 1 left. 1 down, 1 left. Okay? From there, you're going to grab your straight edge and connect your dots to create your line. And now we have graphed a line that represents our relationship. So we have represented or made connections between all of the different representations. Okay? These all represent the same relationship. Okay, so at this point, you're going to attempt to do some independent practice. You have 2 U-try questions. Okay, so question number 1, they give you a table. They want you to write an equation to represent the relationship. They want to know if it's additive, if the relationship is additive or proportional. They also want you to create a graph or graphic line that represents the relationship. Number 2, they give you a verbal description. They want you to write an equation to represent the relationship. They want you to fill in the table, finish the table that represents the same relationship. And then they want to know if it's additive or proportional, if the relationship is additive or proportional. And lastly, they want you to graph a line that represents the relationship. When you are finished with these 2 problems, you're going to go over to Clever, log into Dreambox, and complete 2 Dreambox lessons. U-try answers will be displayed and discussed in tomorrow's lesson. That's all I have for today. I will